if even Banks said it, Banks didn't participate in none of that. That's just people, you know what I'm saying, opinions, and everybody got opinions. Some people like Banks, some people like Fab, and that's how I left it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it alters what I do in any type of way, you know what I'm saying?
Not saying Fab ain't nice.
So
most people just don't want to deal with them because on average, they just are not good, genuine people to be around. They're good to look at. They're good to work in
To these
brothels.
dynamics, they'll
They're
think
good
that
to,
it's a
try to
phase
take over a
meant to
bar.
match.
They're good when they're handing you food as like they're a waitress or they're on a call center.
that's part of the
call, something
problem.
like that.
You have to
But
learn.
anything other than that, we really don't want 85% of y'all around. Just leave. You know, like it's sad to say, but it's the reality on it.
You're gonna have a lineup
And so we go down the elevator and
talk for days and never make plans. There are people who seem interested and then disappear. There are people who say they want something serious while they are apparently seeing someone else. And there are people who look great on paper but behave completely differently in person. That bakery date story is a perfect example. She matches with a guy, they have good conversation, they plan a cute little bakery date, everything seems normal, and then he just disappears while she's waiting for her coffee. Blocks her, unmatches her, gone. And that is the part that feels so strange. Not every date is going to lead to a connection, and that is okay. But disappearing mid-date like you are escaping a hostage situation is wild. If you are not feeling it, you can still be respectful. You can finish the coffee. You can say, "It was nice meeting you." You can be a grown adult for 20 more minutes. But instead, some people are handling dating like the exit button is always available, and that creates this very cold feeling. And I think that is why so many women over 50 are shocked. It is not that they expect every man to fall in love with them. It is that they expect basic manners. They expect people to show up, communicate, and act like adults. But modern dating has made avoidance extremely easy. You can block, unmatch, disappear, and never explain anything. And when you are coming from a generation where people used to talk things out, or at least end things with some type of decency, that can feel like emotional culture shock.
I have a question for single men out there. If you had a woman who came to you and was interested in dating you, but she told you that she lived in a motel, would that be okay with you? Because that's my latest interest from someone on a dating site saying, "Hey, I'm interested in you, but I live and work in a motel. Is that okay?" If you're, I mean, again, not to knock anybody in your living situation, and yes, everybody needs love, but no.
So I noticed when I was going on dates that I was doing most of the talking. So I told myself, okay, next time I go out with a guy, I'm just going to sit silently and let him engage and do the talking. So I went out with this guy last night and we sat in silence for like 5 minutes. All these times I was thinking I was having these like
How you doing, Kendra?
with someone, you owe them the kindness. Honey, I'm home.
From a generation where people used to talk things out, or at least end things with some type of decency, that can feel like emotional culture shock.
I have a question for single men out there. If you had a woman who came to you and was interested in dating you, but she told you that she lived in a motel, would that be okay with you?
Can you hear me? 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 I'm glad somebody told me. I'm glad somebody told me, folks. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Damn, I fucked up again, folks. Y'all couldn't even hear me. All right. Damn. Hate when that happen, y'all. I really do. That's the first thing I gotta check when I come on is, can these motherfuckers even hear me? I'm glad we didn't get too far in the stream. Let's run that back real quick. I'm gonna say everything I just said over again.
Is okay. But disappearing mid-date like you are escaping a hostage situation is wild. If you are not feeling it, you can still be respectful. You can finish the coffee. You can say, it was nice meeting you. You can be a grown adult for 20 more minutes. But instead, some people are handling dating like the exit button is always available, and that creates this very cold feeling. And I think that is why so many women over 50 are shocked. It is not that they expect every man to fall in love with them. It is that they expect basic manners. They expect people to show up, communicate, and act like adults. But modern dating has made avoidance extremely easy. You can block, unmatch, disappear, and never explain anything. And when you are coming from a generation where people used to talk things out, or at least end things with some type of decency, that can feel like emotional culture shock.
I have a question for single men out there. If you had a woman who came to you and was interested in dating you, but she told you that she lived in a motel, would that be okay with you?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it would not be okay with me. And let me break down why. Women at this age expect a man at this age to have his life together on some level. Now, let me break down on some level. There was a time when I was working a regular job, making $10 an hour, but I had a studio apartment. I had my beat down car that was reliable. My bills was paid on time, and I budgeted my money so I could have an extra couple $100, whatever left over at the end of the week or month or every 2 weeks or whatever. So I had my stuff together on that studio apartment, $10 an hour job level. There's levels to everything. There's no reason why someone in their 40s and 50s shouldn't have their stuff together to at least that level. Now, I get it. Sometimes your parents get sick. You got to move in with your parents. Sometimes your house burned down. Maybe you got some type of medical ailment. Okay, those are exceptions. But, if it's not a case like that, there's no reason why, ma'am, you should be living in a motel at this point in your life.
Do you have a picture?
And let's... Because it may be that you just make bad decisions overall as a whole, as a person. And see, once you start getting in your, I'll just say officially 40s. Once you start getting in your 40s and up, once you start getting in your 40s and up, people can really assess what type of decisions you make in life. I mean, a lot of times you could probably assess it before that. But people give a pass for 20s, you young and dumb, you figuring it out. Even like 30s a little bit, you kind of still fairly young, you figuring it out. But once you 40 and up, people really looking and analyzing you like, what kind of person are you? Where are you in life? How do you talk? See, if you still sound like you don't even take accountability for the things you do or how you were responsible for a lot of the bad things that happened in your life at 40, people are a lot more judgmental. There's no leeway at 40 when it comes to pretty much anything. So no, ma'am, I'm not okay with you living in a motel and still dating you. And let me touch on this before we continue. Even if your house did burn down or something happened with your health or something. The dating market is brutal. People don't want to walk into that. They can have grace and compassion and stuff, but people don't want to walk into dating that. So the same way y'all would tell men, no, get your life together and then come back on the dating market. I would tell you, sis, get your life together and then get back on the dating market. But the thing is, women associate getting their life together with going to sit down with a man somewhere that'll get their life together for them. It's in a woman's DNA. When women are in trouble, struggling, her first thought is, can I find a man to get me out of this? That's their first thought biologically. Where can I go find a man to help me with this? They don't think, let me get myself together before I even come to a man. No, that's what a man for, to bail me out of shit. But let's get to the video I wanted to get to.
Letting folks convince you to date down. Stop letting folks convince you to date down. Stop dating these dudes simply based off of potential.
Oh boy, let's take it slow, folks. Let's take it slow. Ma'am, just off the initial pop up, ma'am, you're not any type of prize on the dating market. There is no dating down for a 50-plus-year-old woman on the dating market. You're not exactly attractive. I mean, I'm not saying you're hideous, but you're not exactly attractive. You're old, you're wrinkly. People could just go through life and see that you're a grandma. And that's not bad. It's not wrong to be a grandma. But it's wrong to be a grandma on the dating market. It kind of is just inherently. Even if your husband passed. Motherfuckers over 50 shouldn't be on the dating market. In my humble opinion. It's just silly. You should just live life. If you meet somebody cool, before it's like, I'm on the dating market, I'm online making TikToks about dating at 57. It's just sickening. Potential, man. Let me go check on my food. I'll be right back.
In my experience, young women today do not know what it means to be a friend. They expect everyone, including other women, to chase them the same way men chase them romantically. It's always me texting first. It's always me making plans. It's always me arranging reservations to make hangouts happen. Only to be told the day of that, like, oh, something came up, / they straight up admit that they forgot. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, girl. And their I'm so sorries are never followed up by, let me make it up to you. How about we do this or this instead? It's always just, I'm so sorry, blank. All these girls want to do is just be Instagram mutuals. They want to like your posts. They want you to like theirs. They want to swipe up on your story. They want like little crumbs of your attention, but they are not actually looking for like a real life friend with like substance and value. And I don't know if any of you have ever used Bumble BFF, but like, don't. It is a bigger waste of time than like actual dating apps for like meeting men. And I've had a handful bad experiences on there, but I'll just tell you about like the 2 most recent ones. So it's this girl, we match, we talk a little bit on Instagram. I see we have a couple like hobbies in common. It's going well. We arranged to meet for a drink. And so we go, we have a drink together. It was like, I think like after work for me. So I was like really tired. It was only like 2 hours and then we went home. We both agreed that it like went really well. And I was convinced that we were going to see each other again. I had to chase this girl for months to meet up again. And it wasn't me not getting the hint, mind you, because she was still texting me every day. She's like, I want to see you so bad. I want to see you so bad. But something keeps coming up. Oh my God, I'm in college. It's so busy, blah, blah, blah. And like at the time I was working part-time. So like I objectively had like more free time than her. So whatever. Okay, sure.
I know. Beats fast. words and promises. How to be brave, how can I love?
I kept like sending her like invites to like different events, like ads I see on Instagram, like blank event on this date at this time, and it was always
Okay, back to what we were into. Hold on. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. All right. All I could say is it has to be mental illness. So, okay, I'm not going to date down. I would love to know, well, I already know, like, what kind of guy does she think is on her level? Could it possibly be this guy? This is what I want to talk about. All this false bravado on the internet, like, it's not real. This woman know she doesn't belong with Kevin Samuels, for example. Like, I'm just using a Kevin Samuels type of guy. Deep down in her heart, I mean, she wants a Kevin Samuels type of guy. That's genuine. Her desire for that guy is genuine. I get it. She want him. But if she actually was to get him, she know her walking out, her being out at a restaurant with a guy like that, she know that don't mix. It mix more for Kevin's. I mean, it mix in the sense that, you know, you see an older couple, they've been married for years. It mixes if, because the assumption is, oh, they probably been married for 20, 30 years. So on that level, it makes sense. Older black couple out having a night on the town. Oh, that's probably his wife for 30 years or something. Right? But even besides that, because I was talking to somebody the other day. I was talking to a woman, actually. And she was saying, you know, I seen this couple out, and the man was looking handsome. You know, I mean, he was a silver fox or whatever. Or, I mean, I don't know. He might have been 50. Let's just say he was 50, but he was kind of like a silver fox. No homo, but like a fine-ass 50-year-old man. I mean, that sounds weird me saying it, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Well put together, real handsome silver fox. And then the woman was like, but then I seen his woman or wife, I'm assuming his wife, and she just looked like an old hag. Like, it didn't go together. Like, it would have went more if I would have, if she didn't say this, but she basically was saying this. It would have made more sense visually if I saw him out with some, you know, good looking 32, 35-year-old. That would fit more. Maybe even 28-year-old. Aesthetically, that fits more. And that's why women are supposed to settle down in their prime. Ma'am, you can't compete. Let's try to guess how old this woman is. I'm going to try to put my best guess on it. She's definitely over 50. There is no question about that. Hold on. Yeah, she's definitely over 50. There's no question about that. So I would say she at least got to be 55 years old, if not 60. But I'll give her 55. You can't compete. So I'm thinking about a 55-year-old man who looked like Kevin Samuels. Ma'am, you can't compete with 28 to 35-year-olds. You just can't. See, but their ego is so fucking thick that not only are they busted looking for creme de la creme, they're busted looking for creme de la creme with the attitude of, I ain't competing. So you better just come over here and see my worth, even though I'm dog shit and you know, creme de la creme. That's the crazy part about it. Let's just continue.
Nobody cares about what he did 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago. What is he doing now? Stop thinking that you're going to miss out on something great because this man has a good game. He talks a good game. He portrays himself as a visionary, and he's an entrepreneur. He just needs a good woman by his side.
Oh boy, let me just say it again. Baby, you ain't young or fine enough for no money. Because it's always going to go back to money with women. They're very shallow. They're very one-dimensional. It's all about a man's money. These people are fucking horrible. Ma'am, okay, let's get shallow then. You want to get shallow? Shallow here now. You don't look good enough to get no money from a man who really getting it like that. You're not young enough. You have too many wrinkles, and you're not pretty enough. There, I said it. You'll be lucky to get a bum ass nigga to stick around. Let alone Average Joe. Don't get me. I mean, Average Joe, he'd be doing you a big favor. I don't care how much money you got. That's what women don't get. Your money doesn't boost your value as a woman at all, essentially. That's what these bitches don't get. Women on the dating market, their money doesn't add value to their sexual marketplace value. Pretty much at all. I mean, okay. And see, this is why you're running into what you're running into. It boosts your value to bums. Men who you would call bums. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I was thinking about this earlier. I don't judge people by what they got going on in life as far as how successful they are. A lot of people do. Most people probably do. You know, a guy could be 50 living in his mom's basement, and not to help her because she's sick or nothing. He just been living in there since he was born. He's 50. He's living in his mom's basement. He got a regular job. He help his mom out with the bills. Look, I ain't judging that man. Is he a good person? Then I'm fucking with him. That's how I view life. I don't care about success, who has success and who doesn't have success and stuff like that. I just care about who a good person, because that's a small percentage of the world, in my opinion. So if I can find a good person, I'm rocking out with them. Hard body karate. I don't care about their accomplishments or how good they dress or not. It's silly shit like that. I ain't gonna say accomplishments are silly shit, but you know what I'm trying to say. But let's take her looks away. Let's forget about the look. Let's say she was fine. And let's say she didn't look as wrinkly as she does. She was a fine ass 55-year-old that looked 28. Even though I don't know if I ever seen that. But let's just give it to her. Who the fuck want to be around this funky ass attitude? You think men go out and accomplish great things to come home to this shit, your fucking mouth and toot? Hell no. So you're failing on all fronts, asking for the best man on the dating market. You're fucking silly. You're fucking, you're deluded and silly.
And he's an entrepreneur. He just needs a good woman by his side. We're not doing that anymore. Stop dating down. If that man is not within your tax bracket or higher than your tax bracket, it's an absolute no.
You're doing them a favor. Do you think these men are mad? Like, men don't give a fuck. They're not checking for you. They're not seeing this video. If they are seeing this video, they laughing at it. See, if they were checking for you, you wouldn't be making this video because you'd be too busy sucking his dick and cooking his food, making sure he's straight. And he would be making sure you're straight if he valued you. These men don't value you. So instead of, let me put it like this. Instead of women going out and getting results with the guys they want at the top of the food chain, they spend their time on the internet shaming the men who don't meet their requirements instead of attracting the men who do. I guess to make themselves feel better. That's what they do to make themselves feel better, that they're not desirable to the guys that they desire. So to maintain my ridiculous ego, I'll go on the internet and shit on the guys who don't meet my requirements and talk about how much I'm so better than them. To distract from my feelings being hurt, to distract from the fact that the motherfuckers I want don't want me. Let me put it like this before I press play again. Drop a bar real quick. The women who actually don't have to settle never have to come on the internet talking about I'm not going to settle. Women who come on the internet about I ain't gonna settle for this. Well, okay, you're the type of woman who would have to settle. You don't have any other choice. The women who have the choice to get something where she wouldn't feel like she's settling ain't on the internet using the word settle. I promise. And let me touch on this. Like I said last night and every night. Well, I don't say this every night, but everybody has to settle. Jay-Z settled on Beyonce because she got some big flaws that we don't know about that would justifiably be deal breakers to some men. Beyonce settled for Jay-Z because he looked like a camel. No, I'm just playing. But look, like, no. Let's really think about this. You don't think Beyonce could have got a better looking man than Jay-Z? Yeah, he had that bag. He had social status. He was the man and all that. I get it. But we talking about settling. Many women, and don't get me wrong, many women would be with Jay-Z just because the money and status and all that. But I think it's fair to say in this category, in the looks category, Beyonce settled. And in other stuff too. Like I said, he got a bunch of flaws that we don't know about or some we do know about. She settled in that way too. Everybody who ever plans on being in a 50-year relationship with another human in some way is settling. So just the whole concept of I'm not settling shows why you're still single. Because we all have to settle, dingbat. Because even if you find a man who making more than what you making, he going to have a bunch of other flaws too. That would be settling. Ain't nothing worse than an old fool.
It's an absolute no. He is not qualified to be in your presence. He is not qualified to go along.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Do you make more than your mother and father? Let's just hypothetically say you do. Are they worth being in your presence? They don't make as much. Do you make as much? Does everybody in your family make what you make or more? Well, they shouldn't be in your presence. Look. Hey. I'm trying to think of okay, let's just say Coretta Scott King. I don't know how much money she died with. Let's just hypothetically say she died broke. Was Coretta Scott King not worthy of your presence? Hey, Martin Luther King wasn't rich when he got killed. So if you made more than him back in those days, was he not worthy to be in your presence? Jesus wasn't a rich man. Is Jesus not worthy of being in your presence, bitch? Just a question.
He is not qualified to be in your presence. He is not qualified to go along with you and be your partner in life. It's an absolute no. I'm going to tell you right now. I make six figures. If Buddy does not make six figures, then there's nothing to talk about.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
What kind of shit is that? Right.
Woo! Yes! Wow! Congratulations.
This woman is fucking nuts. This woman is nuts.
What you mean to say is all the niggas you up with ain't shit.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the up.
Like nobody gives a fuck. It's not to hurt your feelings at all. It's definitely not. Again, I think it's impressive. I'm not getting ready to go throw a party for this hoe. I don't care.
Oh my gosh. Ma'am, let me touch on another aspect of this, folks. You can tell people who do money by how they talk and act about making six figures. Cringe people don't even talk about how much they make. But this is another facet I want to touch on. You too old to be glorifying 100K. Or she didn't say 100K, she said six figures. So let's just give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's just give her the benefit of the doubt. And say she make 250K. That, as a 55-year-old woman, let me see what that is after tax. We're going to break this down. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So that's about 170,000 after taxes. That not too shabby at all. You can live a very comfortable life. But you're not a millionaire. You're going to have a nice house. You're going to have a couple extra ducats to go on your solo trips. But as a 55-year-old woman, that's not anything to act like you're Cleopatra about. It's a good living, but it's not nothing to act like you know, Oprah or something over. It shows how childish you are, and it shows how can I put this? It's just immaturity. The point that I'm trying to make ultimately is that's a good amount of money. But it's just enough to live a regular, comfortable life, is what I'm trying to say. It's not millions. It's enough to not have to, check your bank account when you go get some gas or go out to a restaurant, or if you want to go spend, $2,000-3,000 on a little trip real quick. It's just comfortability. 250K is just comfortable. So the fact that you acting like it's $25 million shows that you're a silly ass broad, is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't brag. Look, if I was 55, 60 years old, I wouldn't be bragging about having $167,000 a year. That's just enough for me to be okay. Cover my medical bills and just be comfortable without having to stressing about money. When women make six figures, you would think they make 10 figures. And by the way, yeah. By the way, and that was me giving the benefit of the doubt and just giving her 250K. Don't get me started if she's talking about 100K before tax. That's just 70K after tax. That's basically check to check these days. If you got a nice little house, car, all your regular expenses, that's just getting by as a single person these days. Really, 100K is the new 50K. But I digress.
in life, it's an absolute no. I'm going to tell you right now, I make six figures. If Buddy does not make six figures, then there's nothing to talk about. And why can I speak on this? Because I've been there. I've lived it. Okay. I have dated for potential. I have given these, factory workers and, guys that want to be entrepreneurs and all.
Oh my God.
You can't make.
Let's go back. She has done that before, folks. She's done it before. She's gave factory workers a chance. Struggling entrepreneurs a chance. Guys working on fries at Mickey D's a chance. Motherfuckers working at Lowe's a chance. This what she won't touch on. Women who got actual successful CEOs knocking down their door for dates. Actual men who are doctors and lawyers knocking down their door. Do they ever give a factory worker a chance? Nah, they don't even get to him in the inbox. They too busy entertaining the dudes who are lawyers, doctors, engineers, and stuff. You had no choice but to fuck with those guys. Because the top tier guys not hitting you up. I hate when they do this. She making it seem like, well, I had doctors, lawyers, and engineers hitting me up, but I bypassed them to give the factory worker a chance. That was all that was on your line, bitch. You're not noble. You weren't being noble then. You were dating the options that you had. Yeah. And let me touch on this too. Let me touch on this. Why didn't it work out with any of those guys? Just because they didn't eventually level up? So, let me guess. It didn't work out with any of those guys because they didn't reach their potential. Yeah, okay, let me go back. Pardon me. So let me guess. It didn't work out with these guys because they didn't level up to their full potential financially. So you left every guy, even though he may have been a decent guy, just based on money. It wasn't that they weren't bringing anything in, but they just didn't level up a certain level yet. That makes you a shallow, bad person. Can we dive in on that? I'll leave any good man if he don't level up from 50K to 75K in a year or two. That makes you a shallow, bad person. Can you deep dive on that, bitch?
Given these, factory workers and, guys that want to be entrepreneurs and all.
Oh my God.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
Look at this woman. This woman is average at best. Most people would say she's below average. All right. But come on, sister. You make six figures. So she say a man got to make six figures. That conversation has been debunked 1,000 times over. I don't even know how y'all are still spewing it. It's not a match like Goldfish. All right. Your beauty, your femininity, all these other things that you clearly don't have is what a man wants. He don't want something that he don't have access to, which is your bank account. What are you going to do with that?
There you go. Shout out to the brother Media Man. He broke this down quite flat. Okay, sisters. Salute to y'all. Y'all making six figures. That's what's up. So now we get it. There could be lifestyle dynamic, issues. You making, let's say, $250,000. They all claim to be rich. $250,000. You know, some brother making 50K, and you like, our lifestyles just, they ain't gonna work. Whatever. Guess what, sisters? Now the burden is even heavier on you. If you want to be a financially successful sister today, kudos and salute to you. You also got to appeal to the man in that tax bracket. Remain extremely fit, feminine, cooperative, and fit, cooperative, and childless. Then you got to you got to check every box now because of the money you made. Or wind up bitter like her because she can't get the man in her tax bracket. That's her problem.
Listen here, we ain't got to say too much. Long story short,
You tell a bitch, I hate a female who act cuter than what she is. Listen to me and listen to me good. Bitch, act your face. Yeah, exactly. Act your face.
yeah, I would say long story short, some of these women, we don't have to explain anything to. Like, it's a perfect science. We looking at you. You just don't qualify no matter what you do. Some of y'all need to realize that.
Unfortunate. There's alternatives. Bad cat and the dog. You know the rest.
All that stuff. I've given them a chance. And what ends up happening, ladies, is that as you propel and as you elevate, the resentment grows. The jealousy creeps in. And before you know it, you sleeping next to the enemy. And all for what? Then they begin to want to
My bad. I was out the room. Let me rewind that a little bit.
Explain anything to. Like, it's a perfect science. We looking at you. You just don't qualify no matter what you do. Some of y'all need to realize that.
Unfortunate. There's alternatives. Bad cat and the dog. You know the rest.
all that stuff. I've given them a chance. And what ends up happening, ladies, is that as you propel and as you elevate, the resentment grows. The jealousy creeps in.
Well, I'm not going to say this never happens. I'm not going to say it never happens. But these men, Mac hand wasn't strong. Because that's my money, bitch. If I'm your king and I'm leading you and I'm guiding the family, bitch, that's our money. So I should have just as much access to it as you do. Because I'm your fucking king. And I got to protect, I got to provide, and I got to guide. So yeah, go ahead and run 80% of that direct deposit into my account. See, so it was all from the jump. If your man didn't have equal access to your money, then you were out of pocket, you were out of position from the beginning. I'm not saying give a man access to your money the first 2 weeks of talking to him, but if you're all locked in, this your man, he shouldn't feel like we in competition. Look, I want to be very clear. There are plenty of women who make more money than their husbands. There are plenty of women in America that make more money than their husbands. And there are women who make more money than their husbands and don't make them feel bad about it. I mean, they still try to make them feel bad about other shit, leaving the cup on the table or shit. They still make them feel bad about other shit, leaving the cup on the table, putting the spoon the wrong side up or down in the dishwasher, putting the spoon the wrong side up or down in the dishwasher. But she don't make them feel bad about the money thing. I mean, she's still a woman. You know, they degrade with time and are bitchy and naggy. But she don't get on them about the money part. And good people wouldn't do that to their spouse. They just wouldn't.
The resentment grows. The jealousy creeps in. And before you know it, You sleeping next to the enemy. And all for what? Then they begin to want to sabotage. And all of a sudden they need to humble you and put you back in your place.
No, they're right about that though. No, hold up. First off, shouldn't you be humble anyway? Isn't that a positive trait? Isn't that what Jesus wants for you anyway? To be humble? He shouldn't have to humble you. You should just be a humble person. But yeah, your place is beneath the man. And if you don't know that place, it ain't gonna work out anyway. So why were you even with these dudes? If you didn't respect them as the big dog, why were you even with them? Because you had no choice. Because you don't have options like that. That's what she's not gonna touch on. What's the point in getting with a man? Just stay single. Because I don't understand the point of getting with a man who you going to emasculate and belittle, and you already know you're not going to see him as a big dog and respect him because he make less than you. What was the point of even getting with him? Right, that's what men should do. I don't care about the Harvard degrees and the 6-figure salaries. You're my bitch, get in your place. I'm your king, get in your fucking place. You my bitch. Harvard University can't change that. 6 and 7 figures on a check don't change that. You my bitch if you with me. And I'm just being, funny and, talking that locker room talk. But y'all get what I'm trying to say. You don't got to call her a bitch. I know. Look, you get what I'm trying to say, though. You my woman. You not my authority figure. I'm not under you, no matter how much money you make and how many degrees you have. So, yes, be humble and get in your fucking place as my woman. Because I still got nuts in this bitch.
Begin to want to sabotage. And all of a sudden they need to humble you and put you back in your place. Do not date down. As a matter of fact, I recommend that you just decenter these men altogether. Get your money, travel, enjoy life.
How did I know that was coming? How did I know that was coming? This woman is clearly miserable, angry, and demonic. I knew the decenter men thing was coming. I hope women aren't this dumb. Well, a lot of them are. But a lot of young women can see like this woman is old, bitter, miserable, and a witch. I'm not taking advice from this hoe. There's a lot of women who do got enough common sense to say that, like, it don't seem like you winning and happy in life, baby. I don't want to be like you and take advice from you.
I recommend that you just decenter these men altogether. Get your money, travel, enjoy life, build friendships around like-minded women. But if you still want to be out here in these dating streets, at least make sure that you are dating someone that matches your lifestyle, your mindset, and definitely your tax bracket, baby girl. Because what we
Hell! But let's be real too. And I'm gonna end it here. And we're going to go over the Rumble and Kick to go over Kendra. Let's be real. All you YouTube broads make 6 figures. I don't believe you, but let's just give it to them. You represent 10 to 15, well, not black women. You represent like 6% of black women in America. 94% of the women who may see this video shouldn't listen to this advice because they're not getting to no type of real money. They're living check to check. Can you address that? So you're giving terrible. Let's just say this is great advice for the other 6% of people who gonna watch this video. But what about the other 94% that actually need a man financially? You don't give a damn about them. You just want people miserable as you. That's all, and it's clear as day. But all right, let's go over the Rumble and Kick to go over Kendra. I'll catch y'all next time. Oh, let me drop the link real quick. You don't got to sign up to Rumble to watch. All you got to do is click the link and watch. All right, let's do it. Let's go over the Rumble.